Now here is why when multiplying decimals, that you start by counting the total number of decimal places. Let's start with a very simple example. 0.1 times 0.1. That actually amounts to 1/10 times 1/10. And that's what it means. 0.1 is 1/10 and 0.1 is, the other 0.1 is 1/10. So what is 1/10 of 1/10? So 1/10 is 1/10 of 1/10 is 10 times smaller than 1/10. And in fact, as a fraction, that becomes 1 times 1 over 100. Now 1 over 100 in as a decimal is 0.01. I'll go to a second example over here. Now this with B, we have 1/10 times 1 out of 100. Now 1/10 of 100 would be 10 times smaller than 1 out of 100. And as a fraction, it becomes 1 out of 1,000. And as you know, 1 out of 1,000, when written as a decimal, becomes 0.001. Looking at example C, this time around we have 0.01 times 0.01. So that's 1 out of 100 multiplied to 1 out of 100. So we're looking at something that's 100 times smaller than 1 out of 100. So as a fraction, we simply multiply the numerators and the denominators. We have 1 over 10,000, which as a decimal becomes 0.0001. Now you notice in examples A, B, and C, because of the way we look at multiplying fractions of 1/10, 100th, we realize that in doing so, the result is 1, and the total number of decimal places in the final answer is the same as the total number of decimal places for the numbers that are added together. So, looking at example D, we have 0.5 times 0.06. Now 0.5 is the same as 5 units of 0.1. Whereas 0.06 is the same as 6 units of 0.01. As you know, in multiplication, you can swap the numbers without affecting the result. So what I'm doing here now is put the whole numbers next to each other. That's 5 times 6. So that's literally just multiplying 0.5 and 0.06 without due regard to where the decimal points are. We're just multiplying them as whole numbers. And then we multiply 0.1 to 0.01. Now, 0.1 has the same number of decimal, 0.1 has the same number of decimal places as 0.5. And 0.01 has the same number of decimal places as 0.06. So altogether, what we have here, when we are multiplying those two decimal numbers, we'll end up with, we have 1 decimal place and we have 2 decimal places in the second number. So what we have altogether is 3 decimal places, 0.001. Okay, and this is where the total number of decimal places comes from. it comes from considering the number of decimal places in the first number and the number of decimal places in the second number. So 5 times 6 gives you 30. Now 30 times 0.01 means practically 30 units of 0.01. And that gives us 0.030. And you can see straight away, the answer has 3 decimal places, which is the same as the total number of decimal places in 0.5 and 0.06.